I'm Bryan Perez from the Draft Network, and once again, the good folks over at TDN have published a brand new mock draft, but this one has a little bit of a different twist. Instead of it being written by the team of scouts who are pouring hours and hours over film, reviewing the top prospects of this country from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, 24/7, 365, dedicating their lives to watching the tape. This mock draft was written by the team of writers from the Draft Network, and while the writers are also doing their part watching the tape and ranking the players and making their big boards, they also have an eye on the narrative that's forming around the league, the team draft needs, the storylines that are kind of breaking from franchise to franchise. So it's a fun mock draft to break down in this episode of Mock the Mock. I'm going to do this a little differently this time. Instead of kind of going through the top 5 picks and looking at where the quarterbacks have gone like I've done in previous episodes of Mock the Mock, I'm just going to highlight 5 picks that I really like in this mock and give credit to the writers who made them. The first one starts at the number 5 pick overall that was made by Jack McKessie. This is for the New York Jets, and they land Alabama offensive tackle Evan Neal. Now, this is a great selection in my opinion because pound for pound, Neal might be one of the best 2 or 3 players in the draft. So to get him at number 3 overall for a team that needs to do everything it can to protect their investment of Zach Wilson, this is a great pick. And Evan Neal feels like a really close, kind of teetering on the can't miss level offensive tackle prospect that's so hard to find in the NFL draft. Offensive tackles kind of are like quarterbacks in terms of you can miss on these guys more often than not. We've seen it time after time, pick after pick in the top 10 of the NFL draft, that these offensive tackles end up washing out and maybe not even reaching a second contract. So when you get a chance to draft a player like Neal, who has such blue chip talent and feels like it can't miss, it's a great selection. And at number 5 overall for the Jets, who are building around a rookie quarterback, next year he'll be a second-year guy. Great selection, great pick. Kudos to Jack. And Jack's run with good picks doesn't stop there. At number 7 overall to the New York Giants, he has New York taking Chris Olave, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Now, I'm not certain Olave will go this high in the draft, and I don't know if the Giants would spend the 7th overall pick on a wideout, but I like the fit. I like the pick. I actually think if this does come to fruition on draft day, while there will be some pushback from Giants fans, especially after spending a first-round pick on Kadarius Toney in 2021, but Olave is a silky smooth route runner, a downfield playmaker, the perfect complement to a guy like Kadarius Toney who feels like that intermediate make you miss type of receiver. You take Olave, you have Toney, you still have Kenny Golladay on a big contract. You now have 3 different complementary pieces in a passing game that if they decide to keep going down the Daniel Jones train, this is an interesting offense because Saquon Barkley will be 1 year healthier. Kadarius Toney will be 1 year more experienced. Golladay maybe stays healthy. You add a guy like Chris Olave to the Giants' passing attack, the pick would probably be met with skepticism and even some negativity, some bad grades after the draft. But I like Jack going bold with this pick. I like Olave to the Giants. I think he could be that missing piece that the passing game has been searching for since Daniel Jones took over. The next selection I really like goes to Ryan Fowler. And for the Minnesota Vikings, at number 11 overall, he has the Vikings grabbing Clemson quarterback Andrew Booth, which, honestly, great value. One of the top cornerbacks, if not the top cornerback in the 2022 NFL Draft, falls outside the top 10 to a team that desperately needs secondary help. This is like perfect fit. We have absolute need meeting absolute value. I don't think if you're a Vikings fan, I don't think you should get your hopes up that this will actually come to fruition. I don't see Booth falling outside the top 10. And to be quite honest, he could end up being the first cornerback taken when the 2022 NFL Draft actually rolls around. But in this case, where Booth has fallen to Ryan and the Vikings here at number 11, that pick probably took Ryan seconds to make, if that long. Great value, great selection, love it. He's one of my favorites. And then we can't leave out Justin Mello. Great writer over at TDN. At number 15 overall for the Cleveland Browns, he has them taking Jameson Williams, the dynamic, explosive, playmaking wide receiver from Alabama. Exactly what the Browns offense is going to need after moving on from Odell Beckham. Jarvis Landry, good player, veteran, more of a running back playing wide receiver prototype, tough route runner, tough with after the catch, physical player, but they need speed on the outside. They need big playmakers on offense to complement what's arguably the best running game in the league. So getting a guy like Jameson Williams here at number 15 overall, great selection. This is probably that range that wide receivers will start coming off the board next April. Williams is going to be in that mix to be one of the first few that get drafted, and he's exactly kind of like what the Vikings did with Andrew Booth, where you have great value meeting really important high-level need. Same thing with the Browns. They need to address speed on the outside in this draft, and you can't get much better than Williams at number 15. So great job by Justin Mello, who goes back-to-back with my fifth pick that I like in this draft. Number 17 overall, Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe my favorite pick in the first round. Kenny Pickett to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I could see it happening. The Pittsburgh quarterback playing for the hometown Steelers. A marriage that is it almost feels like this is an arranged marriage. We know that Ben Roethlisberger is done. He's been done for the last couple seasons. He's letting all of his teammates know his tenure in Pittsburgh. He even feels like it's coming to an end. Kenny Pickett will be sitting there waiting for Pittsburgh to make him the pick. I don't know if he'll last until number 17 overall. So in some ways, this might be more of, hey, this is who the Steelers need to target. Get aggressive, move up and get him if he starts sliding into that territory within your first round pick. He probably won't be there at number 17 overall, but if he is and the Steelers are there and Big Ben has finally moved on, the University of Pittsburgh superstar quarterback playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is just chef's kiss, perfect pick by Justin Mello. Great job by all the writers over at the Draft Network. You can go to thedraftnetwork.com right now to check out this mock draft and all the other team-specific mocks, the scouts mocks that they've been putting together. It's all building over at the mock draft section of the Draft Network. And look, we're already in mid-December. The calendar's going to flip to January very soon. The Senior Bowl will be here before you know it. The NFL Combine, Pro Days, and then whammo, it's draft weekend. So if you haven't started your draft studies now, there's no place better to do it than the Draft Network. Get all the information on the prospects, read those mocks, make your own mock, become a premium member, do what you got to do to be on top of your draft game. You can follow me over on Twitter at Bryan Perez NFL, follow the Draft Network on Twitter, and come back to TDN every single day for your favorite NFL and NFL draft analysis.